Well, we've never had a presidential election quite like this one. A few thoughts now on this presidential race that's getting closer by the day. The race between Trump and Clinton has narrowed dramatically over the past month. Mrs. Clinton held a double-digit lead in two national polls at the beginning of last month. She now holds a 3-point lead over Trump in the head-to-head race, a shrinking 2-point lead in the four-way race, according to the Real Clear Politics average. The latest CNN ORC poll shows both nominees should have solid support from their bases, now at about 90% each. Remember when that was not going to be possible for Donald Trump? Well, things have changed, and they keep changing. Trump winning among white voters, men, older voters, those without college degrees, even has a 20-point advantage among independents. Mrs. Clinton, meanwhile, leads among women, non-white voters, college grads, and younger voters. But the race is tightening by the day, despite her barrage of attacks against him. A new analysis shows Mrs. Clinton dominating on attack ad spending by a 6-to-1 margin over Trump. 6-to-1. Clinton has now spent more than $81 million on those ads in the general election compared to Trump's $13 million. And when you factor in spending from super PACs, Clinton and her supporters outspending Trump by a 5-to-1 margin. To what effect, though? Despite the vicious attack ads, the sheer power of her ad spending, there's been almost no impact on Trump at all. In fact, he's managed to pull within 3 points of her, 2 points in the 3 most recent polls. Trump was impervious to attack ads when battling as many as 16 opponents in the primary campaign season. Some political savants thought the result would be different in his head-to-head general election race. They're wrong again. Clinton's attack ads haven't changed Trump's trajectory at all. But she will keep trying. You can count on that. She has lots of money to spend, and she headlined 37 fundraisers last month to assure that she has plenty of ammunition for what is now an all-out battle that will be fought out over the next 2 months. With a large number of voters still undecided in some states, that number is as high as 20%, Trump has, in my opinion, significant advantages. Trump outperformed by a significant margin his polling in the second half of the primary election season. So there's that. While Hillary may argue she isn't running for a third Obama term, she is in the minds of many Democratic voters doing just that. And her campaign should be deeply troubled that her poll performance to this point doesn't validate voter support for that third term. While Clinton and Trump have their detractors, certainly, and obstacles, Trump has some momentum in poll direction, in trajectory. Independents are breaking for Trump by a huge margin, as much as 20%. At least anecdotally, he's also making a persuasive case for himself among, for the first time, minority voters. And finally, it appears the Republican establishment and Republican elites are beginning to come to their senses. Trump's final advantage would be an energized, organized, focused Republican Party network turning out voters in favor of their nominee on November 8th. With that, Trump, the Republican Party, and this country, in my opinion, would be big winners.